faithfulness to one's own spiritual master as he comes is the basis of devotional service. Sometimes even we may not understand what our spiritual master is doing or why am I in a particular situation due to his instructions, but we should then, under such difficulties, not whimsically look for somebody else, as long as our spiritual master is still following the Krishna conscious rules, and especially still following his own spiritual master and his tradition, and he is still continuing Krishna consciousness. So this is faithfulness in devotional service. In the past, there have been cases of devotees leaving ISKCON and becoming initiated in another tradition. Some of you, I've talked to some old acquaintances, they have sought initiation or guidance in a different tradition. And all the cases that I have observed, when that happened, was because something really undesirable happened within one's own tradition. But we have matured, and now ISKCON also has to widen its scope. ISKCON has to look beyond the wall. You mentioned the Berlin Wall. There has never been a real wall between the traditions. There have never been fences around ISKCON temples, but there has been a wall in the head. But now that wall is also softening up. It's dissolving, especially because of the internet. 90% of our ISKCON congregation, we live in the community. And even in the temple, every devotee has guaranteed access to the internet. He can surf the internet, he can look at all the sites. So devotees, they look here and there, especially young devotees who haven't yet committed themselves. They check out sites of WVA, they check out sites of other spiritual masters, and we just cannot control them anymore. It's not possible nowadays. We have to recognize the reality. However, in our own tradition, when people come to us, we will preach to them the standards that we have learned in our Sampradaya. In ISKCON, for example, if somebody wants to get initiated, for at least 1 year, he has to be chanting 16 rounds every day. He has to be following 4 legal principles. There's a process for him, for such a person to become accepted by a spiritual master. So we will tell our people that this is good, because this is what our spiritual master, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, taught us. So we will not tell them about it, doesn't matter where we go. Just do what. No, we say this is good because Prabhupada wanted it based on scriptures and the tradition. So we expect from our disciples, from our followers, also to respect faithfulness to them. Now, in general, spiritual life is free. Like if somebody wants to go somewhere else, he can do that. And also for that purpose, you mentioned Berlin also. Berlin is exemplary. We have discussed this topic also in our National Council in Germany, that ISKCON does want to regularly participate in intra-Vaishnava dialogues. In Berlin this is happening once a month, and whoever wants to come, he can come. And Vaishnavas of different traditions, they sit together, they speak about certain topics, and it's only for the public. Everybody is free to choose what he likes best. Also, especially Berlin, the best example because it's a big city. Some of the devotees who have been coming to ISKCON festivals and ISKCON temples for years, all of a sudden they get initiated by somebody else. But the understanding, we have examples, for example, there's one photographer. He has been taking photos of ISKCON festivals for 5 years. And now he's becoming initiated by somebody else, but he has feels some commitment. Well, I've been taking photos of ISKCON festivals. Now he gives his photos for ISKCON publications. And in Berlin also some devotees who are initiated by other spiritual masters who serve in the Veda Academy or even in the ISKCON temple, and vice versa. So the doors are opening, and this is not because people just like to walk around, but because the world is changing. Free access to information. The early days, we could tell people, well, you know, this is like that, we won't have any opportunity to look at any other information, you just have to believe us. But nowadays, you can have information everywhere. So we have to have the doors open, otherwise it will just not work. We will be left behind in history. And also this concept of guru is one, as I heard it explained many times. Guru is one. It means there may be many spiritual masters. Srila Prabhupada said that in his famous speech, but they are all descendants of the original guru, who is Lord Balaram himself. So in this way, but still, also, why are there different gurus? Because the guru comes to us according to our understanding, and there is this commitment to one spiritual master, this faithfulness. Just by this faithfulness only, the disciple will make so much advancement. Whatever the spiritual master says, does, one stays faithful to him. There are so many examples in our tradition. This is a great secret in spiritual life. So before changing and walking around, the disciple should thoroughly think, because the voice comes from the heart. But sometimes within the heart there is Paramatma, but within the heart there is also the mind. So we have to follow all the rules and regulations in devotion service that will control the mind, will make the mind our friend, and the mind will become our friend, will take us back to our
Nitai Gaudiya. Now I request Madam Gopal to speak, very dear devotee to Srila Bhakti Maharaj, and always with the spirit of his Guru there.
Yesterday we were hearing from Vaidyanatha Prabhu that our Supreme Lord, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he preached this verse, Hare Nam verse, to everyone, that in this Kali Yuga there is no other way except by chanting the holy name that we can get the ultimate objective. So it is very easy, it seems. Only you will chant Harina, you will get ultimate goal. It is easy. But this chanting has to be done without tenfold offenses. Then it will give us Krishna gratified goal. And if we see the 10 offenses, the first offenses, we should not criticize the sadhus, Vaishnavas, those who are preaching the glories of holy name. This is one offense. And the third offense is we should never disobey our Guru, Diksha Guru, or think him to be an ordinary person, ordinary conditioned soul, instead of personal associate of Krishna, his representative. So in these tenfold offenses written in Padma Puran, we have to see there is a Guru and there are other Vaishnavas. So the Shastra says you don't criticize Vaishnavas, means you glorify them, you appreciate them, you cooperate with them, you respect them. And when it says you don't disobey Guru or you don't think him as an ordinary human being, that means you realize who he is. And when you will know who he is, and if you will understand that following him is for your own highest benefit and for the highest benefit of